Herbs! Nagbabalik na naman ang HERBAMINUTE. I am Rocky.
And I'm Jans,
Your ambassadors for Urbanex Laboratories Incorporated. Today, we have the privilege of convening a panel of renowned experts, each a leader in their respective fields.
Their collective expertise will guide us as we delve into the significance of standardized practices for the extraction, isolation, and utilization of plant-based compounds.
In the development of safe and effective medications. Tara na! At kilalanin natin sila.
I am here in the Research and Development Laboratory where our first expert and his team gathered to work on various innovative solutions for herbal preparations. Here with me is a master's degree holder in biotechnology from the University of Melbourne, the Research and Development Manager, Mr. Aidan Cruz. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Jans.
So, Sir Aidan, to start, could you share your insights on why the use of herbal extracts is increasingly becoming more popular nowadays?
Okay, so, globally, we're starting to see a trend where people are becoming more conscious about their health and they want to find ways to be able to invest in keeping themselves healthy before, even the onset of disease. So, one of these things that is supporting that interest of people to invest in their health is the emergence of more high-quality herbal extracts. So, especially in the West, we're starting to see more clinical studies being done on herbal extracts. And people are starting to see that some of these are, in fact, effective. For example, ashwagandha, which is like an Indian traditional medicine, people are seeing that it's effective to relieve stress. And together with this emergence of high-quality extracts is also the emergence of standardized extracts. So, these extracts compared to traditional like herbal extracts now have clinical studies and also characterized chemical components.
Wow, that's fascinating. You mentioned standardization. Can you explain further why standardization is important?
Yeah. So, with many different plant or herbal supplements, these will contain like the active compound or active extract. So, each herbal product will definitely have its own set of active compounds, and we can attribute the effectiveness of a herbal product based on the amount of an active compound or active chemical that's present. So, with standardization, we want to make sure that for every, for example, gram of this herbal ingredient, there is a set amount of the active compound. So let's say I give you a capsule of ginger, I can guarantee that it is standardized to have like 50 milligrams of gingerol. So that's the active compound. So compared to like if you just say ginger powder, we don't know the amount, so we don't know the amount of gingerol, so it's not standardized. Yeah.
To follow up with that, sir, does standardization help in identifying adulterated products?
Yeah, so standardization can help in identifying adulterated products. So, for example, if I mix like just a little bit of ginger powder into a whole lot of cornstarch, I can still call that ginger extract or ginger powder because like regulatory-wise, nobody is checking at that point. So, like, that's an adulterated product. You're just mixing ginger powder into a big bulk excipient and calling it ginger powder. Now, if you say it's standardized ginger powder to contain X amount of gingerol, then you can guarantee that, okay, this amount of ginger powder will definitely have a fixed amount of chemical compound compared to if it's just a little ginger in cornstarch, then can't guarantee. And now that you've declared that there's gingerol, the regulators are obliged to check if there is in fact the amount that you've declared. So now it's transparent. If there's less than the amount, then that's also an adulterated standardized product. But if it's within the amount, then the guarantee of the quality is there.
However, sir, won't the extraction diminish the medicinal property of the plants?
You might think that because with extraction, for example, you start out with a kilo of plant powder and you extract it, the extract you're gonna get is gonna be like 100 grams, and then you lose a lot of material from the extraction. Then you'd think maybe it's gonna be less effective because we have less material, we're losing things that could be active. But in fact, quite the opposite is true. So Plants, of course, contain many different compounds, and some of those compounds are the ones that aren't really relevant. For example, plants contain fiber, plants contain starch, plants can contain pectin, and all of these don't really have any relevant pharmaceutical effect. So, with extraction, what you're doing is removing, you're harvesting all of the relevant active compounds, and then we are removing or leaving behind the stuff that's not really active. And so the stuff that you get is actually much more potent. For every gram of that material, it's much stronger compared to every gram of the stuff that you've left behind, like the fibers, etc. So we're not losing efficacy, we're in fact gaining efficacy.
I see, sir. Last question for this interview. Will the use of standardized extracts make the herbal products more expensive?
In a way, it will, because of the extraction process and the standardization process, our material is going through many more processing steps. So of course, that involves more labor, more utilities and equipment cost. So definitely the price will go up. But there's two sides to that, because for example, a capsule of ginger powder would have like 500 milligrams of ginger. And so if you extract the active compounds from that ginger powder, you're gonna end up needing to use less because it's more active. So even though ginger powder was like, let's say, like less than ₱1 per gram, and ginger extract is like 10 pesos per gram, if you just use a smaller amount of ginger extract because it's more potent, then you will also use a smaller, the cost will also be less.
Thank you, Sir Aidan. We appreciate you for sharing your expertise with us today. We are truly honored to have you here.
Thanks for having me too.
To dive deeper, let's go and visit our next expert to see where it all happens. Take it away, Rocky.